I'm Dalton Ringey. I'm the Adjunct Instructor of Clarinet at College of Central Florida, and this is the technical etude for All-State Symphonic Band bass clarinet. So something to think about when you're working on this etude is that even though there are accents on most of the downbeats, we want to be careful about tonguing these too hardly. It's a scherzo, so it's supposed to be nice and light. So I would even maybe think about not even trying to accent, because most of these are on a downbeat, so they're already going to feel accented. And instead just focus on a nice light character with the 6/8. We want to think about, we want to make sure that it's nice and light and bouncy. We don't want it to sound too heavy. I'll play a little bit of what that would sound like if I were to purposely over accent the downbeat, so that we can kind of avoid that. So if you and it's even hard for me to over accent these because I'm so used to playing it a little bit lighter, but when you're articulating too heavily here, it takes away from the character. It's gonna slow the piece down. So we want to keep it at a nice light, breezy tempo, not too fast necessarily. It's only allegro assai, but the character is what's most important. And then another thing that's really tricky about this is in the second section where we have these large registral leaps. So especially the octaves where we're going from the lower note, it's really easy to crack one of those notes. So take some time to experiment with your embouchure to see if you can play both notes with the same sort of tongue position and embouchure. Try and find if it's the A, if the tongue position for the A, you can also play the low A. If you can also play the throat A with that, do that. So I'm going to just try and experiment with that. And I'm going to try the tongue position that I would use for the throat A. So I think what's going to be most helpful for most of you is to use the tongue position for the low A, so kind of anchor on that low A. And that's going to, and the throat A should pop out a lot easier from there. So same with when it comes again on the C, so the low C to the clarion C. Drive that low C, and then the clarion C should just come out as long as your air is good. And again, just make sure our dynamic contrast is really present. Even though it's a technical etude, we still want to show that we're musical. So it's very quiet at the beginning, and we only have 2 measures to crescendo to a forte, so you could even experiment with a little bit more dynamic contrast in the first 4 measures. So maybe it might go something like this. So maybe you have a bit of a hairpin in those first 4 measures, and then measure 5 you might start mezzo piano, so that you only have a couple of dynamic markings to go up rather than going all the way from piano to forte. And again, second section, we're starting out nice and strong, but you still might want to add some dynamic contrast, whether it's maybe a bit of a decrescendo at the end of a phrase or a crescendo. Just make sure that you're really convicted in your choice. And again, same thing, last 4 measures, it's piano to forte, so really bring out that dynamic change. You might want to even overshoot a little bit, try to go to fortissimo, or maybe crescendo once you hit the forte, crescendo into the last note into a fortissimo for a nice strong ending. So that might sound like this. All right, good luck, happy practicing, see you next time.